Good afternoon all. Many have various perspectives and opinions as to what is our Singapore identity that binds us together. I feel that our Singapore identity lies in Singapore as a multiracial community. Singapore is unique in its way that we are different from other homogeneous societies. Here in Singapore, different races come together as one. There is no distinct discrimination between each race, and the government has always been putting effort to emphasize on the need of a multiracial society. 21st July is commemorated every year as Singapore Racial Harmony Day. Yet many seem to have taken this harmony for granted. Everyone knows about the racial discrimination in other countries like America. Even in modern society, racism still exists. And because Singapore has always been taught to be a multiracial society, our people seem to take this harmony for granted. Of course, it's not possible to say that Singapore is a perfect multiracial society where everyone really has no discrimination against one another. A minority of our people still does discriminate against other races. Reports of Chinese being racist against the Indians in Singapore are rather common. When Indians walk into a lift occupied by Chinese, the Chinese tend to cover their noses and complain about how the Indians stink. This is a rather common sight in Singapore. The government has not really tackled the racial mindsets of the people, and not only that, Singaporeans even discriminate against their own race. Like the influx of Chinese and Indian immigrants has led to unhappiness of the people. Even the Chinese and Indian immigrants are unhappy about it. They complain about how the immigrants affect their livelihood and how the immigrants cause transport breakdown, etc. This goes to show that despite Singapore being claimed to be a multiracial society, the attitudes of the people do not show it. In general, our identity as a multiracial society remains rooted. I feel that the discrimination is rather minor in Singapore as compared to other countries like America where the hierarchy is really evident. The different races in Singapore are still able to come together in times of need, which I feel is really remarkable. Especially during tough times like the SARS period and the recent haze, our people really stood together as one. The government has also been putting effort to tackle the racial issue in Singapore. In schools, the idea of racial equality and harmony has been actively promoted to provide our younger generation with a sense of racial equality. Diversity is important to make us stronger and more resilient. The racial riots that occurred in the past were important lessons that we should learn from. We do not want the misery and suffering that our previous generation had experienced to be repeated. Therefore, in order to do this, it is important to educate the people, especially the younger generation, on the importance of racial equality. We entrust the future of our country in the hands of our younger generation, and by reinforcing the idea of racial equality, we hope that they will grow up to shape a Singapore that is truly multiracial, to be looked out upon by other countries. Thank you.